Hello everybody, welcome back. Omega Given here. So today we're going to talk about cars because I bought a new car. So let me tell you our use case, because this is probably a good advice or like video for somebody that's trying to buy a car for the same use case as us, which is me and my wife, and we have a kid now, a newborn kid, and we want a second car so we can both have a car for when I go back to work and she needs a car. Which she actually probably will be driving my car or our old car, and I drive this car to work. But hey, with that in mind, we have a couple use cases, and probably the same use cases as you for if you're a small family or if you just want to just think about these things because you're just thinking about these things. And our use case is we need to be able to fit a car seat in a second row. We want to be able to fit a stroller in the trunk, and we have a big stroller. We have this running stroller that's like very bulky stroller compared to most strollers. Mainly because we love running. My wife goes and runs 2 to 3 miles a day every single day. So yeah, those are like our two main use cases: a good second row with that can fit a car seat, a good trunk that can fit a stroller, easily fit a stroller. We'll come back to that. And then of course, we want it to have some good bells and whistles, which is like all the alert system kind of stuff. You know, like when you're closing up on a car, like, you know, lane steering, blah blah blah, all that different like bells and whistles of the safety features. So we want those kind of things. So with that in mind, we're like, we might need to get a new car. So I asked around a bunch of my friends that have like, you know, literally the same use case as us. They have a few kids or a couple kids, one kid, and saw what they were getting. And we're like, okay, let's keep that in mind. Also, I had one quick other use case that I really wanted. I of course do a lot of home renovation kind of stuff at my own house here and a lot of other kind of stuff. And I want to be able to haul a 4 foot by 8 foot sheet of plywood or drywall. But there's not many cars that can do that because that's basically just a van or trucks. At least literally just vans and trucks. But the problem is right now in this economy, vans are really expensive if you want all the bells and whistles because they'll easily be upper 30s, if not 40s, or $40,000 vehicle. And trucks are oftentimes not family friendly. But with that in mind, my family did suggest this one truck because it might be family friendly. So let me go over here. It is a Ford Maverick, and if you want to buy this thing with a few bells and whistles and everything, it is in a $30,000 price point, which is pretty solid because that was our price point. We wanted 30 to 35K maybe. That's kind of like what we were looking at as our limit. And this fit right in that limit. We went and test drove it. It's an EV, which, okay, all these cars that we're looking at are going to be EVs, so I'm just going to leave that aside. Mainly because we like EVs, or not EVs, hybrids. Correction there. Hybrids. Because hybrids, they just pay themselves off over time. It will just be a lot cheaper because we're city driving all the time, so 40 miles per gallon is pretty awesome. There's like a 30% discount on your fuel cost, basically, at least, I think, 30%. So yeah, we just thought it was a great idea. So we checked it out. It drove pretty well. The trunk, well, it's a pickup bed. We can fit a thing in it. But then it comes to the car seat. The car seat does not fit in this second row because we have our newborn is under a year. So when you put a newborn car seat, which like flipped reverse, so the baby's facing backwards, that doesn't fit in this. You have to literally pull up the seats all the way forward just to get a car seat in there, and it is tight. And your knees are also tight because I'm a 6'2" person, so it does not work. So we had to put the Ford Maverick off our list. It's kind of sad. Well, since we're at the Ford dealership, we went and checked out Ford Escapes, which is very surprising because this is a $30,000 vehicle and this is a $35,000 vehicle, which is kind of interesting because I feel like they just should be the same price. I don't understand why this one had, like, they all have the same bells and whistles. The only difference is the shape of the car, I imagine, right? Just the shape of the car, and yes, the Ford Escape costs more when this has a truck bed on it. I don't know, kind of weird thing that I don't understand. But we checked it out. We're like, okay, we can get a gas one for within our price range, but these other ones, they're like 35,000. So it's like at this point we're kind of looking at it, we're like, new cars are they're really right at the end of our price point. It's really hard. Also, I can't fit my 4x8 sheet in there, so I was kind of disappointed. But like I kind of had to soak that up and be like, you know what, if I wanted to get plywood or drywall to my house, I'd probably have to borrow somebody else's car or van. I have a few neighbors I maybe be able to borrow a van from. So, but it's like, okay, that we'll go with the family car route. For Escape, it just didn't seem like it was in our budget. So we went to a Kia Sportage, which, you know, that was a little bit less than the Ford Escape, and it comes with some pretty good warranties. So I was like, okay, that's pretty good. Car seat fit. Stroller kind of fit, had some issues, but we'll come back to those issues. Then we went and checked out a very interesting car. We checked out a Chevy Bolt We didn't check out them new. We were checking out some used Chevy Bolts, and we noticed that these are a lot cheaper. So these actually sell for like $20,000. This one specifically is a little bit less. I think it's because they probably factored the EV credit into it. But yeah, it was selling for a lot cheaper, and we're like, this is pretty kind of cool. We can get this thing. If you know, fit the car seat in the back. It's an EV, so it's like it's kind of a different view of cars because you don't think about going on longer road trips with EVs because of your drive range or whatever. Like, because this thing can only go 250 miles or so on its battery. And then the trunk. The trunk is a lot more. It's a little deeper because it doesn't have a spare tire, but it is so it's taller but shorter. So it's like, huh, will this fit? So we kind of like put our car seat in. It does. We kind of like gotta put it in to the dip because there's like a big dip where the car like the I guess an extra tire would have been if it had an extra tire, but it wasn't long enough for an extra tire. And we flipped it up and it works pretty well. And it even had a lot of space around it to fit like maybe three duffel bag sizes in it. So it's like, okay, that's pretty good. So then we went and checked out a Toyota RAV4 because that was on our list of things to check out. Because we're like, huh, if we're going to do these things, let's check out Toyota because they have reliable cars, even though you're probably paying a little bit of a premium for these, I guess, foreign cars. So we checked it out. We're like, you know what, this is also pretty good drive. It's a hybrid instead of the EV. And like, you know, we put the car seat in, the car seat fit. The stroller, it doesn't fit the way we liked it. And we went back to thinking about like the Sportage and the Escape, and it's like, wait, these all don't fit the way we like it. Because what we want to do is we want to be able to, like, our stroller just folds back up, and then you just push it in. Which in the Chevy Volt, it wasn't really a push in; it's more of a drop in, flip up, and it's done. These ones, it pushes in, but it would close. It doesn't. It's not long enough. The trunk bed's actually not long enough for our stroller, so we have to turn the stroller sideways. And then if we want to fit anything more in the trunk, because it actually is the size of the trunk, like it's a bulky stroller, we'd have to flip it up. So 3 steps to just boom, 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 which, you know, for me, it's easy. I can do that. I'm strong enough. But my wife is much smaller than me, and she can't do that easily. So in the end, it's like all this family-friendly stuff. We're like, you know what? This Chevy Bolt looks a lot better. So we ended up getting a Chevy Bolt. It ended up being $20,000 flat. I was able to negotiate the price because I was showing them how the valuation is actually lower. I think they were quoting at $24,000 or something like that. But I was able to get down to $20,000 because, or like flat, and that's after the EV or the EV tax credit. There's a $4,000 EV tax credit. Make sure you check that if you're buying EVs. But yeah, it worked out pretty great. It has a really cool center console. I love that thing about it. It has all the bells and whistles. It's a 2023, the one that we got. I picked this one out because it's a 2023 as well. But yeah, that is the journey of us going from a truck to like SUVs to finally an EV and deciding on the EV. Now it's kind of interesting because some people might ask, well, it's like, well, what if you want to drive long distances? Well, I'm just going to tell you, this thing can only go 250 miles max, like round trip. So yeah, it doesn't go long distances. But considering the discount that we got, all the other cars would have been $8,000 more. Basically what we do in the difference of that is when we go on long trips, we'd rent a car, and we're at an age where renting a car is not too expensive. Also, I don't know, I've kind of been indoctrinated when I was a child that like when you do go on long trips, you rent a car because you don't want to put that much wear on your like day-to-day cars as much. So like I don't know. That's what we kind of think about that way. It's like, you know, if we're gonna go anywhere, just rent a car. It'd probably, I think I calculated out to be like maybe $300 to $500 a year, depending on what kind of vacations we're going on with a rental. So it's like, you know, it's not too much more. $300. That is like years worth to even make up the $28,000. Plus it's an EV, so the cost of fuel is like half, if not a little bit more than half off of like cost and fuel. So that will probably save us a lot of money in the long run as well. We'll see how the other maintenance keeps up on these Chevy Bolts, but yeah, I just want to do that. I'm probably going to do a tour video of our thing, but I just want to do this like mindset video of like what you're going for in a car and what I went through compared to yourself and see how you feel about it. But yeah, that's what we decided on. I wish that I could have gotten a truck, but that's okay. I actually love our vehicle right now, and this is my, like, I guess midlife crisis dream car if I could get one. Because like, look at that center console, that big screen right there. Actually, it's bigger than that. I don't think that's a weird looking screen, but it's actually the full size there. I don't know what this is, But yeah, cool vehicle. But yeah, if you guys like these kind of opinions or like thought videos, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. If you have comments down below, or if you have a comment because you want to like ask a question about my experience, comment down below. I'll respond to it, all that good stuff. And like and subscribe. I'll see all you guys later. Bye bye.